This video is for those of you who follow Neville Goddard and you follow the law of assumption, and especially you take the advice around not paying attention to the outer circumstances. I am Elasa Tina Marie, and I'm here to give you quantum soul advice, guidance, things from my personal life, things that have helped thousands of other people reality create and be their best version self by fully showing up embodied, meaning the true them shows up, gives authentically, gives passion, gives purpose, and is living their best life. Okay, so I want to do this video because there are 3 tips that I want to give you around actually using the information wisely. Yes, don't pay attention to it and move along, but with being self-aware of like, okay, why did this circumstance happen this way, the outer circumstance? So tip number 1 is self-awareness. You want to be aware that whatever just happened, you have projected for a reason, meaning somewhere in your subconscious or unconscious mind, you have memorized that which just happened. And then you project that onto the green screen in your reality. And that's what you're projecting, as well as that's what you're quantum entangled with as far as resonant match scenes, experiences, versions of people, etc. So you need to understand and be self-aware that why did you project it that way? Why was the experience that was seemingly unfavorable, or the outcome, or the outer circumstance not what you desire? Why did it happen? So that's going to take some contemplation later on. Sometimes you can right then go ahead and drop into an awareness. And when, what is the conception point? Where did it begin? Because although you may have memorized that, so-and-so is going to act a certain way and it was unfavorable, meaning even though you desire them to be a better version of themselves, you may have to go ahead and do some deep transformation and transfiguration of the belief systems that they would ever be that way, that soul would ever show up anything other than their highest version self. Because if you don't do the always, that they're always going to show up that's their highest version self, and forgive the conception point of the archetype of that being that programmed your reality to memorize those types of characters to be the certain way, then you're going to keep leaving yourself open for those lower version reality souls to show up in their lowest version self, as well as the experiences in your life are also, going to be memorized in those lower versions until you consciously, with self-awareness, decide to let them go. And when we say decide, it means to cut off any other option other than this situation is always working out for me. I am always healthy and wealthy. I always have more than enough. These souls are always amazing in my life, okay? So the number 1 tip is to be aware of what you just saw. The second tip is that what just happened is transient. It's fleeting, meaning you want to let it go. You want to be aware that in an instant, you can shift to a higher version reality by simply being willing to know that version of the outcome or the circumstance that just happened is just one screen in the quantum. Instantly, if you don't hang on to what just happened and you allow for your inner dialogue to go to everything works out for me, you can shift and have the scene change instantly. You can have the being who told you no all of a sudden say yes. You can have it have dark clouds to all of a sudden it be sunny. This is how the quantum works. It's going to change. Everything around you is going to change when you allow it to. And when you focus on behind the 2 eyes in the heavenly state, in the heavenly space, when you focus on what you know, what you assume is coming right next. So even if the outer circumstance shows you something unfavorable, you know that you always have everything work out for you. You know that right now things are going to change, the sun is going to come out, and so it does. So you focus your attention on that which you are wanting to occur, regardless of the outer circumstance. It will shift. It is transitory in nature. It is fleeting. And if you keep focusing on it, though, then you're going to crystallize it and literally make it stronger and repeat itself again and again, because you possibly get annoyed or angry or frustrated that the circumstances in your life are not changing. Okay? The most important tip is that these moments of the outer circumstances happening that are unfavorable are actually a celebration. Because when you make a strong intention or you assume your life to be so, and you are strongly on a rampage of the best life, you are doing your meditation, you are showing up authentically. What happens is that strong new intention to be your authentic self, to be fully embodied, then collapses and crumbles all the old versions of self and all the old versions of the outer reality. And so sometimes in the quantum field, all of those photonic light particles that were spinning away from you in chaos of the lower version reality, of the lower version self, of the lower versions that you expected others to be, sometimes, or pretty much most of the time, that new intention then crumbles those, and sometimes those light particles literally change their spin and come home midline to be recirculated through your torus, to be reprogrammed into highest version you, into the highest version outcomes. So it's more a time to celebrate in a witness stance that we called these thresholds a few months ago, that we're at a threshold moment where an old version reality, an old version self literally is collapsing. So that moment, that when the other version starts to, let's say it's somebody else, they come to you and they're being their low version self, and you really are manifesting your special person, your divine partner, to be the most loving, respectful, giving, because you're working on your self-worth. You're fully worthy to have a partner who's, made in the image of God like you are, and to serve together and to be your greatest selves. And they come in and show you a low version. Well, if you still just made that strong intention, that low version of them is like a little child who's like throwing a tantrum. It's like, wait, I don't want to leave. And they may show themselves because it's actually shadow, slowed down old version realities that's coming home to be digested and transfigured. But if you engage with it with anger or frustration, what happens is you literally quantum entangle with that low version of them, and you lower your vibration down, and all of a sudden now you're still in those cycles of being with the lower version self. And the little wounded child having a tantrum wins because you just bought into it instead of holding a witness, not judging. Maybe you can put your hands on your heart, take some deep breaths. You may talk to their higher self telepathically. You may talk to your higher self and say, now I know I see this, being having a tantrum, but I know who they really are. I know who you truly are. That's something I might do. I might see their soul's light illuminate or drop back down in their body. Or I know who you are. I allow you to say a beautiful apology or a beautiful new statement after the last thing you just said. And then all of a sudden they change because you held that witness and you allowed them to literally have their own transformation and that higher version reality of them to open up. So it's truly the higher I am. There's only one of us here. The I am that I be for eternity, the one, the Godhead. So as I hold space as a witness and open up my field and hold love, the other, I'm able to see them and vote victory for them. And I'm able to hold the light of victory that I know they're arriving right now. So when I vote victory for somebody, I'm able to see that being, even though they're crumbling, their lower self, the lower version scenes that I've memorized. The new version that I've memorized is literally just behind that. And their wings open up and the light drops back in and their eyes get clear and they tell you, let's go for a walk. Now, a reminder for all of you that if it is another version of others in your life that are having a shapeshift, a metamorphosis right before your eyes, and you just did that technique, you don't want to go and tell them, well, why did you just say that rude thing right before that? You can, but I will tell you that sometimes it literally can bring them right back down to where they were. Okay? So you want to just run with it, roll with it, stay in the present moment and go for that walk. Okay. I hope this helps you on your journey of living your best life, of actualizing your most amazing realities, of living on purpose, being the full totality that you came here to be. Have a great day.